What up, it's Jay Running Man holding it down right here at the line is a recap of a great, amazing tournament, Ultimate Hoops. I got two guys, special guests here that's going to talk about it, and we're just going to recap some amazing games. Donut and Alan, how you guys doing?
Good, Jay. Thanks for having us.
Of
Doing
course.
well, Jay. Great to see you again.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. The tournament was amazing. Just tell me a little bit, how did you guys get this started?
I'll try to keep it brief. So the very first tournament was in 2012 in Las Vegas at that time. And at that time, Ultimate Hoops had been within Lifetime. We were acquired by Lifetime in 2008. So roughly 3 or 4 years. And we felt once we were at 20 markets, we had this crazy idea. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we tried to do a tournament in Vegas where everybody paid their own way and they played for a $50 trophy? Wouldn't that be a fun challenge? And that was kind of the North Star, getting the first tournament going in Vegas. We were able to get 8 teams that first year. And then once they came out to Vegas and saw that it was much more than just a basketball tournament, they saw that there was a red carpet. They saw that they were going to be treated like NBA stars. The word spread fast, just like the league. And the league has consistently sold out in minutes every single year since 2012.
I've seen a lot of NBA stars that were actually participating in the tournament as well as future stars. What is the ultimate goal of Ultimate Hoops?
The ultimate goal is just obviously for me is just building up this community and just making it one of the best basketball tournaments in the world. Like something that people look forward to every year. Kind of like the TBT, the Drew League. I think eventually we like to be considered one of the top basketball tournaments that everybody looks forward to each year. Um, like you said, the former NBA guys coming back to play. Like we had Kent Bazemore, we've had Josh Childress, Corey Maggette. We've had a lot of big names, come through our doors, and I think we want to continue that and kind of give these NBA players another opportunity to continue playing their careers. And I think we've done a pretty good job. Like Alan said, we've sold out every year for the last 12 years, and I don't see it slowing down soon. I think it's like our Super Bowl. This is our Ultimate Hoop Super Bowl. This is what I call it, basically, for lifetime players. It's something that we look forward to every year, and it's just a great event.
Now, as far as the
Yeah,
jerseys, some of them jerseys was amazing. They was kind of replicas of some of the NBA teams and stuff like that. Do you guys put that together, or is that like a team thing?
Yeah, so shout out to Legends Apparel. They just came on board this year. They're our official sponsor for the tournament this year. In the past, we've had Nike jerseys, we've had Adidas. This year, Legends has come on board and officially provided us the jerseys. I was told they were, yeah, probably one of the better ones that we've ever had. Um, Material wise, look wise, I think they were great. I did help with some of the design work. So yeah, Alan can speak on previous designs and how those work. But yeah, that's something that we definitely try to make interesting every year. It's what brings these guys back. It's kind of like a collector's item, right? Like you have the jersey from 2012, or they become items because they are. Once we give them out, that's it. There's no more. We don't really reprint them. They're not like they become collector's items. I guess I think for a lot of these players that played in our tournaments over the years. So, but yeah, I'll
yeah,
let Alan kind of follow up on that.
yeah. No, I think just to build on that, Jay, I think it sounds counterintuitive because we're talking now about how all the NBA players and these great players are playing in the Ultimate Hoops tournament. When Donald and I first started doing that, that was never our intent. It was actually, let's make the average person who plays like Donald and I feel like an NBA player. So we've always focused on the experience over the competition. And by focusing on that, the pros have actually started to join and been attracted to that experience as well. But that's why we create these really pro level jerseys. We spend months designing over the logo and every single detail because our North Star has always been treat the average Joe like a professional.
Well, that's dope,
Yeah.
man. Well, let's talk about the games that happened in Vegas. A lot of great teams from CTE, Hot to Trot, the fellas, the guys, to the Rude Dogs, and so on, man. I really enjoyed myself. There was a bunch of games that were close. There was some that went into overtime, so it made it a little more longer, but we definitely enjoyed ourselves. So let's talk about that. So we're gonna start with the guys and the Rude Dogs. That was one of the first games. So let's talk about that game and what was intriguing about that and how it was exciting, plus of a winner.
Yeah, so the guys, they were actually one of the pool captains. This is they're playing against the Rude Dogs, who is a free agent team actually, because our Atlanta team backed out last minute. So we had to put together this team last minute, kind of from Vegas. We had a couple guys from New York, Arizona, kind of jump on as well. But yeah, the guys, I think, easily won this game pretty easily, which to me, I called it the weakest pool in the tournament. I didn't even have the guys going into Sunday. I think they were a little upset. I put them at 12 mainly because I felt like any team out of this bracket could have made it to Sunday. But you know, they pulled through. I know Zach had a huge tournament. I don't think it was in this game. He had a half-court shot to win the game, to literally put them into Sunday. If it wasn't for that half-court shot, they would have been sitting home on Sunday. So if it wasn't for that miraculous shot, yeah, I mean, it was anybody's ball game to really get into Sunday from this pool. So if the guys pulled through. So
yeah. What I will say about the guys, they was really good at shooting. Now this first game, they didn't really show that a lot, but the last couple of games that they played, it was hitting 3-pointers like there was no other.
What I remember about the guys from the first time I saw them, it was a couple of years when I first played the tournament, they all played in wigs, right? And I think, they're a content creating basketball media company. And the first year they came out in wigs and thought it was going to be fun. And then they realized how good the competition was. And I noticed this year, none of them were wearing wigs. They took it very seriously. And man, they're a really great team. I think I made this comment to Donald on Sunday or Saturday. I said, I think the guys is the most well-conditioned team in the entire tournament. They play with 6 guys, 7 guys. They play fast. They play hard defense. So shout out to those guys. They have a lot of respect this year. They play great.
Yeah, I saw them with the lavender mics. I was a little confused about that, but like you said, they content creators, but they were balling. And not that game, but I think the second game, they were just shooting lights out. So it was really exciting to see them. I think it was one game I thought they was going to lose, and then they just pulled it off at the end. So I agree with you guys, man. They did take it serious. I didn't see the wigs, but they didn't bring no wigs this year for sure. And I know, Donald, you actually spoke to some of the guys at the end of the game. We're going to take a look at it right now.
From the guys, blowout first game. Did my 12 ranking kind of motivate that a little bit?
Hell yeah, it motivated us, man. We came out here 6 guys again this year, lost Jordan. He had a baby. Shout out Jordan, man. He's starting a family. But, had to take care of business against the Rude Dogs. That was in the cards. But looks like we got our work cut out with us for Centex and NorCal Buckets. So.
I was going to ask you that next. I thought your pool was kind of weak, but it's looking pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you can never underestimate a current NBA player, and obviously that their opponents are keeping up with them. So we got our work cut out for us. But if we shoot like we did that game, I think we're in good shape.
Thanks, Tommy. Good luck to your rest of.
Now, Donald, where is 12 on the list? How far down is that?
Out of 16. So
Oh, wow.
basically every tournament I do a preseason or pre-tournament preview article to kind of give my predictions on who's going to make the Sunday, right? The top 8 make it to Sunday. I had them at 12. So yeah, they weren't very happy with that, obviously, as you can see in the interview. But yeah, those guys are a lot of fun. I mean, they're really talented guys. I just knew they didn't have Jordan, their starting point guard, coming into this tournament. They're one of the few teams that didn't have a league either. So they didn't have any guys to really reload from. They couldn't really pull any guys because they don't have a league. So a lot of the players that they wanted didn't meet the eligibility requirements. But obviously, as Alan said, they're young guys. They have, the legs, obviously playing 6 or 7 deep. But yeah, shout out to those guys. They made a great run, I think, this weekend. They participate in the TBT. Just a real quick plug. I know they're saying ultimately this is one of their top 3 tournaments that they look forward to every year. So to be up there, for them to say that about us, it means a lot for them. And I'm really excited that we have them part of our tournament every year.
Now, one of my favorite teams, I'm not going to lie, I thought CTE was going to take it, but I'm not going to lie, Hot to Trot had some of the best uniforms of the tournament. We're going to take a look at this game right here, and just let me know how y'all felt about it or what you thought when it was going down.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This game started late. Hot to Trot came like 15 minutes late to this game. I don't know if they woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning, but they were kind of grumpy all weekend. I couldn't get an interview with them at all. Every guy I asked turned me down for an interview. So it was really tough to kind of, gauge where their head was at. Obviously, they lost all 3 games. But, CT was obviously, they're a monster. I think they're Kenny Ziegler over at Maryland's building a basketball factory over there. They have 18 teams at their Columbia League. So they're just loading up talent. As you can see, they made a huge run this tournament. But yeah, shout out to Kenny and the CT guys.
Yeah, my impression with Hot to Trot is, to Donald's point, they did seem a little bit grumpy. And I think what we found is if you're going to win a championship, national championship, being in Las Vegas, you have to manage your off-court game as much as your on-court game. So maybe they stayed out a little too late on Friday night. I don't know, but they didn't seem to have the same energy as the other 15 teams in the building.
Yeah, CTE, I like them a lot. I know one guy didn't come back for Sunday, and he was like one of the people that I spoke to on the way out. So I was excited to see him. But number 22 was really good, and I know he came off the bench. Thought they should have played him a little more because he was, to me, more poised and more organized. But they won most of their games. Obviously, the game that mattered, they didn't win.
Yeah, quick fact, Kenny Ziegler actually played in our first tournament in 2012 as well. So he is a true national tournament OG.
Now we're going to do the Elite Eight, some of the best teams of the tournament, CTE in the North. Also, the North had some amazing uniforms as well, too. Let's talk about that and recap. Roll the clip.
Yeah, Jay, I'm glad you brought up the North. I definitely wanted to talk about this team being from Arizona. One of, I think, the most fun player to watch for me was this kid named Jared Upchurch. Looked like he came straight out of a frat party. This white guy with the beard. He just came draining out threes. He doesn't look like a basketball player. Had a headband. Looks like he just, looks like he's still in college. But yeah, he was amazing. I think he dropped 30 against the New York team. But he just came out just balling that tournament, and I was very impressed with them and the entire team. Definitely me being from Arizona, a little homer. I did have them 9, but they got in. They beat the Flight Vegas team, which to me was the most disappointing team of the tournament. But to see them get into Sunday was a huge accomplishment, I think, for those guys.
Yeah, I don't remember this game. So I was on court 2 during this game. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of insight on this one.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was a really good game. I feel like it was close. The North, I think I've seen at least 2 of their games, and they, like he said, they was very impressive. But I think CTE got the better of them just by 2 points. But the uniforms looked amazing in Arizona. They had their Arizona look, and I was really impressed with that. Like I said, that was one of the main things I was impressed about, the uniforms and how detailed they were and how organized everybody seems, from the refs to the coaches to the actual players. So to me, the whole tournament felt like somebody was trying to get somewhere. Where they are trying to get to is them individually, but they definitely trying to, you're definitely highlighting players and helping them get to wherever they want to get to. So some games we wasn't able to broadcast, but we're going to check out the scores, and here they go. So the championship game, I felt when I first started watching, I felt really confident about CTE. but when I walked in the gym, everybody was talking about Ball So Hard. They said that was the favorite, that was the team to beat, and this was the actual champion game. So you guys let me know how you feel about it and what's your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought this was one of the better championship games I've seen in a long time. For me, it's just, I think Ball So Hard jumped into an early lead. I think they're up 8-0, 10-0, and I kind of noticed that kind of be the trend. A lot of these teams are kind of falling behind early and having to play catch up, and then they just kind of run out of gas at the end. Ball So Hard's obviously a seasoned veteran. They won obviously since 2015 every year for the last 9 years. So they've been literally dominated this tournament for a decade, close to a decade now. But you can tell teams are starting to catch up. The New York tournament, they barely won in overtime on a last-second questionable call that could have went either way. They only won by 2 points in this one on a Justin Detman layup. They didn't have Alex Gills, but this team it's on its last legs. I don't want to say they're done. They're definitely super talented. Obviously, they still won, but you can tell the other teams are getting very, very close. They're becoming a lot more younger. A lot of talent. I'm sure Adam and Terrell would agree with that. That the competition is just getting close, where you can tell they're ready to almost pass the baton, but they're not quite ready yet. So I'll let Alan speak as well. He's seen pretty much every championship as well, and he can get his thoughts.
Yeah, I'll give some historical perspective. So Kenny Ziegler, CTE, he has no fear of Ball So Hard, and here's why. They're one of the few teams that have beaten Ball So Hard. So in Vegas in 2014, CTE actually beat Ball So Hard. And I think that loss motivated Terrell and Adam to come back in 2015 with a fully reloaded squad. And boy, did they do that. And since that loss to CTE almost 10 years ago, Ball So Hard has been on a historic run. So it was kind of, I had a lot of nostalgia in that game. And I said to myself, boy, wouldn't it be cool that if 10 years later, CTE came back around and beat Ball So Hard again for a national championship. So really great story, great game. Amazing that CTE, we've not had a championship game in Vegas that I can remember that's been that close and that well played. So to Donald's point, the gap is closing on Ball So Hard, but could this scare that CTE gave them force Terrell and Adam to reload again for 2025? Who knows? I mean, you could see Jalen Suggs on their squad next year. Who knows?
But I will say a lot of the games were very close. I seen Ball So Hard come from behind at least 2 of the games that happened in Vegas. So the competition is definitely amazing. It might have been like 2 blowouts, but the other games were down to the wires. The fact that we had about 4 or 5 overtime games was amazing. And I know you have more to come. I know you're going to be in New York. Let everybody know when you're going to be in New York and what to expect.
Yeah, so our next national tournament, obviously, New York in August, August 25th, I believe, 26th. Don't quote me on that, but registration does open June 15th, which is next month. So make sure you guys get those squads ready, because we're going to be running it back in August in New York. So, and then we're going to have you guys there out again to broadcast all the live games. I know we had some hiccups this tournament, but I believe we got most of those problems addressed. So we're excited to have you guys broadcast the games again for us in New York.
New York City, Ultimate Hoops, we will be there. More games to come, more years to come, and we're excited to bring more great basketball to you guys. Donald, Allen, I appreciate you guys. Jay Run It right here, Ultimate Hoops, TOV Sports.